excuse me. I pledge
I
allegiance
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
the
States
flag
of America
of the United States of America and
and
to
and
the
to the
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
under
indivisible,
God,
with liberty
indivisible,
and justice for all.
Oh, thank you. That's tough to do on here. Roll call, Jenny?
for Donna Corbin Sabinski,
Yes.
Kevin Zorda,
Here,
Virginia Higley here, Carrie Ann Howe,
Absent.
okay, Jane Smith,
Jane is no longer part of the commission. Her term is expired. Yeah, I think we just lost Jenny again. Yep, there she is. Jenny?
oh, here's Robert Henderson, thank you,
Here,
yeah. And is
Okay, so-
Marie here?
No, Marie's not here. There's only 4 of us. So we have myself, Kevin Zorda,
Okay,
Jenny, and Bob Hendrickson. So we're going to seat Bob Hendrickson.
okay,
Thank you.
thank
Correspondence.
you.
Thank you. Correspondence is next on the agenda, which we have none. Do any of the agents have anything, any correspondence or they'd like for site
None.
visit?
no,
Oh, sorry.
Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward. Next on the agenda is approval of minutes.
I move we approve the minutes of July 7th, 2020.
I
I
second.
second it.
Okay, well, Bob will please second. Okay, Jenny, roll call? Jenny, can you do roll call?
Lagging.
Yeah. Kevin, could you do it? It's just the 4 of us.
Yeah, okay. Donna Corbin Sabinski,
Yes.
Kevin Zorda, yes. Bob Hendrickson,
Yes,
and Virginia. I think we lost her.
Yeah.
Maybe Nicole, maybe have her call in, because I'm sure her phone line is more stable than her
I'll give
iPad.
her a call.
Yeah, she can use the iPad to watch, but then call in on the phone number.
Right.
Her line is busy, so I'm gonna keep trying.
We apologize for everybody else on the line. If you're not aware, we need to have 4 members in order to have a quorum, in order to really vote on anything. So that's why we're trying as best we can to get Ginny in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Hmm.
She's calling in.
Thank you.
We don't usually run into these technical issues as well. This is a
It's too hot outside, that's why.
Okay, I'm back. I'm on the
Yay.
phone this time. Sorry about that. I'm just going to go on the phone.
Okay. So Ginny, Kevin did
Yes.
roll call for the approval of minutes. So we just need
Okay.
your, for the approval of the minutes.
I approve. I approve.
Thank you.
All right.
4 in favor? 4 in favor, motion passes. Old
Mhm.
business, we have none.
Nope.
Nope.
New business, we have a public hearing, IW 610.
Yep.
I'm going to ask the secretary to read state the ads and where they're published. I'll read the rules and then we'll begin the public hearing. So it's a public hearing for
Sure.
IW 610, 188 Moody Road. Application for a map amendment to the town of Enfield official wetlands map for the property known as 188 Moody Drive, Enfield, Connecticut. Troiano Realty Corporation owner map 100, lot 0012, zone I1. So, Ginny, could you read that?
It was published in the JI, but I don't know the date. Savannah,
Okay.
do you know the date?
It was not published on the JI. It was
Oh,
on the
okay.
website.
On the web page. I apologize.
Yep, no worries. Under
Okay.
the executive order, it's been on the website for the 10 days. So it went up
Okay.
on the 10th.
Okay, thank you. So now the rules. The
Oh,
applicant,
sure.
the applicant will give their name and address for the record and then give statements regarding the application. Afterwards, the agents and staff may ask questions and comments. We'll then hear statements from the public only regarding topics of the public hearing and areas of concern for inland wetlands and our regulations. Please do not bring up any items related to other agencies, commissions such as P&Z, as we can only base our decisions on our rules and regulations. We will keep everyone muted to decrease any background noise. All those wishing to speak must raise their hand in the e-meetings, and then you'll be called upon. When called upon, you need to state your name and address for the record. At any time, if the meeting becomes unruly or unmanageable, then I will call a recess so we can then take statements from the public. The statements from the public are for purposes to be considered in deliberations of the regular meeting. After we hear from the public, we will then hear statements from the applicant again to address any questions and concerns. Prior to the meeting, the applicant needed to provide documents of notices sent to all abutting properties by certified mail, no more than 15 days prior and no less than 10 days prior to the date of this hearing. Has the staff received those copies?
Under the executive order, that has been waived. As long as it's on the website, we're procedurally set to move forward.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so I will now call upon the applicants to give their statements and, of course, their name and address as they speak. Are they here?
Bob Russo for the applicant is here. I know that David Ziax, professional engineer from FA Hesketh, is here as well. Dave, if you would like to, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and start.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? I'm Dave Ziax from FA Hesketh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I have a couple of maps to share, if you could allow me to share.
That'd be great.
There we go. The first one I'm putting up is an aerial photo. You can see the project site is 15.14 acres zoned I-1 on the south side of Moody Road. It's outlined in the red, approximate boundaries. Over on the left-hand side is the railroad right-of-way. Moody Road's to the top. Over in the left-hand corner is the Troiano oil tank terminal area that's been there for many years. And to the back is, just to the south of that is a small industrial building that's shared by a couple of local contractors, have their offices in there. Way down in the southwest corner, there is a cell tower facility that's been there for quite a few years, hiding in the trees out there. And then the rest of the site is open, relatively flat. Along the east boundary is wooded, and then down along the south boundary is wooded as well. The other map I have with me this evening is, I guess I gotta go over here to my share. Try again. And just do that right here. There we go. This is a colored up rendering of the actual property survey and wetlands mapping that was filed with the application. Again, I just identified with some color the tank, the existing building, the cell tower. And then down along the easterly boundary and southerly boundary is that light green line. You can see it has wetlands flags indicated along with it. That's the area that Bob Russo identified as the wetlands, actual wetlands on the property. Our survey team went out and located those flags and have them noted on the map here. The sort of orange hashed sort of blob areas there, that's the limits of the actual wetland soils that's depicted on the current town map. So that's the subject of the application, is to show you that that wetland area shown on the town map really doesn't exist, and the green hatched area is the actual wetlands on the property. Sort of dark green squiggly line I have on here is the limit of clearing at this time. I did want to mention just very quickly that back in 2011 or so, there was a large project proposed on this piece of property, and these same wetland limits were flagged at that time by another soil scientist who has retired since then. So that's one of the reasons why we brought in Bob Russo to confirm the old line, establish, update anything in the field, and then, we located that fresh flagging and put it on this map here as subject of the application. That project never developed. It was actually dropped over time. And so the property has remained in this portion undeveloped. There currently is lots of interest starting along Moody Road once again. As everyone knows, there's a large project proposed down there. The high school, former high school, Martin Brower across the street just did a major expansion last year that the commission reviewed. And there's a number of other activities along Moody Road. And the owners, Triana Realty, have had some inquiries and interest to develop this portion of the property. So we thought it was appropriate to get the information accurate to present to others, and help us out with cleaning, maintaining the property, and getting it ready for hopefully for additional development on the site. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Bob, who'll explain his flagging and his report for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. As Dave Ziyax mentioned, my name is Bob Russo. I'm a certified soil scientist with CLA Engineers at 317 Main Street in Norwich, Connecticut. And I did the wetland delineation that's on the plan before you right now. You have two letters from me, and I'd like to just briefly review those two letters. The first letter is dated July 7th, 2020, and recounts the delineation that I did out there and the soil types that are present. As Dave Ziyax mentioned, along the southerly border of the site, there are inland wetlands, as well as along the easterly border. The second letter that you have before you is dated July 17th, and it's in response to a staff question regarding the presence of wetlands that show on the current town wetlands map, and the lack of those wetlands in the delineation that I did. And as my letter indicates, those wetlands were previously filled and graded. So when I was doing my delineation on the site, I did several auger samples throughout the site, and the areas shown in that orange hatch that Dave Ziyax indicated, while they may have been there to some extent when the original mapping was done, which would have been back in the 60s, they're no longer there. And there is evidence in the soils that I found while I was digging the holes that show that they were filled and graded over, and that really the entire site was smoothed over, that there's some debris on the site, and that even that eastern edge of wetland that's almost right on top of the site boundary is a man-made slope as well that reflects grading. So the wetland boundaries that you see reflect the conditions that are out there currently. They match very well with the last soil scientist delineation, and the soils that are present on site do reflect areas of filling and grading that was done in the past. I'd be happy to answer any questions from the commission about the site.
I have none.
Yeah, what's the difference in the area from what we had and what you know?
I have a question. Who's responsible, or will the map be filed to show the amendment if it passes? You know, the amended area if it passes?
Yes, the property owner intends to record an updated boundary map on the land record to make sure it doesn't, fall by the wayside again like it did back in 2011.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be my concern. That's why I'm asking that. Thank you. You've answered my question. I have no other ones.
Yeah. I did see in the notes that there was something about an oil spill. Is that?
What happened was over where the tank is and where the terminal canopy was located, this past winter, someone entered the site illegally with a large truck and hit the canopy and caused a spill, which has been cleaned up subsequently. And Mr. Troiano, the Troiano Oil Company, is now going through the process of replacing that canopy and upgrading all the equipment to today's modern standards. Of course, a lot of things have changed over the last 30 years. So that's currently in the process, and they'll be coming in for building permits for that very, very shortly. But that spill was isolated up there near the canopy, and it has all been cleaned up in accordance with state, requirements, DEP requirements, and then the local health department's been involved in that as well. So
Perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Does anybody else have any questions? I can open it up to the public. Do we have, Savannah, do we have anybody on? From the public that would like to speak?
We do not have any hands up.
Okay, I can ask it one more time. Is anybody on the audience that would like to give statements for or against? Okay, one last time. Do you have anybody that would like to give statements on this application for or against the application? Do we have any emails or anything, Savannah?
No.
No, okay. So I guess we'll go back to the applicants. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or?
no, at this point, I think that concludes our presentation. And if the commissioner has any questions at all, we'll be happy to answer.
Thank you. Does the agency or staff have anything to say? Ask any questions or comments?
No, thank you for providing the updated map and answering our question. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so seeing no more comments or questions are needed, can I have a motion maybe to close the public hearing?
So
I
moved.
move to close public hearing. Oh, okay, I'll second it.
Okay, Kevin made the motion, Jenny to second it. We have any more comments or discussions?
No?
Okay,
Thought
we
it
have
was a
roll
very
call.
good presentation.
Yes.
Sure. Donna? Kevin?
Yes.
Virginia, yes. Robert?
Yes.
Okay, 4 in favor, motion passes. To close the public hearing.
Mhm.
Okay, so we've done that. Do we have any other motions or anything we want to do for this, or?
Yeah, I will make a motion that we approve the map amendments for IW number 610, 188 Moody Road. Application for map amendment to the town of Enfield official wetlands map for the property known as 188 Moody Drive, Enfield, Connecticut. It's Moody Road. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
not Drive, Moody Road. Enfield, Connecticut 06082, Triangle Realty Corporation, map 100, lot 12, zone I1.
Second.
Great, thank you. Can we have roll call?
Donna,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Virginia, yes. Robert,
Yes.
Okay, motion passes for the amendment to the to IW 610, 188 Moody Road. Thank you, gentlemen, for the presentation, and probably see you again.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a
Good
good night.
night.
Sorry for the delays this morning, this afternoon.
No
yes, all
problem.
my bad.
No
That's okay.
problem. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Okay, so I just want to make a comment regarding the next part, the wetland permits, IW 611 and IW 612. Unfortunately, we have to meet the requirement of 14 days before we could act upon these applications. We could definitely hear them today and discuss them, but we cannot make any motions against them. So we will have to have a special meeting on August 5th, so we could make our motions and act upon the application. Can the agents, is August 5th a good day for everybody, I hope?
It is, can I just ask, how many need to vote for it to pass? In other words, do they have to get all 4 to pass? In other words, they might want to just, oh, they would have to wait another 14 days. Never mind.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to go into, we're gonna have to have a special meeting on August 5th because, we don't have
Yes.
any meetings in August. And we don't want to delay the
Yep.
applicants anymore past that. So the 14 days is August 5th is as soon as the day that we could act upon these applications and make motions. So,
Okay.
That's a Wednesday, right? That's fine.
Yes.
yeah, is that good? Okay, good. And hopefully some other of the agents can be there.
Woman, Jody Posey has her hand up.
Yeah,
Who
Yep,
does?
sorry. I clicked that by accident and I don't know how to unclick it. So
Oh, all right. Cool.
sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, so we can discuss the applications. I think that'll be good since the applicants are on and all. So I'll start with IW 611, 67 Middle Road. Application for a permit to construct a single-family residence within a 100-foot upland review area in the property known as 67 Middle Road, Raffia Farms Incorporated, owner map 65, lot 62, zone 44. Are the applicants here?
Yes, Attorney Andrew Urbanowitz representing the applicant, and I have Gary Raffia, who is the secretary of Raffia Farms Incorporated, here in the room. And also in the room with me is Alexandra Thompson, who will be working the camera for me and helping me through my exhibits.
That'll be great. So if you'd like to explain the application?
Okay, it's a pretty straightforward application. It began with my client purchased this property at the end of last year, and it has been split into 2 separate lots, parcel A and parcel B, if you will. Parcel A is going to be known as 67 Middle Road going forward. Parcel B is going to be some farmland, and parcel B, my client is in the process of working on donating the development rights to the Connecticut Farmland Trust for that parcel. So the intention of that is that would be set aside and stay in agriculture. And that area is to the east and north of the lot that we're discussing.
Okay.
And then on the lot that we're discussing, the proposal is for a 2,000 square foot future house. No plan has been selected. My clients may or may not build this house. It may end up being sold. We don't really have a solid plan as to where the lot's going, but the intention would be to use it for a residential home once again. Somewhere in the mid 1700s, a house was built on this property known as 67 Middle Road. And that house stood until around 2012. We found the demolition permits were taken out at that point, and that house together with a large barn and several other outbuildings all occupied this area. So this new house is going to be a much smaller developed area on the site than was previously there. I would add that all the building is in the review area, but it's staying on the upland soil and the Ninigrit soil class, which is well drained and I think would be suitable to support building on, and it had building on that site roughly in that spot previously. The treat areas depicted on the map that was submitted to you are more really brush, except there are a couple large trees right on the property line with Middle Road. And those trees are going to be removed because they are in poor health and not living. The rest of the brush is any conditions you want to impose on it. If it needs to stay, it can stay. My applicant is open to your suggestions on that.
Okay. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to make sure that you guys were caught up. So
Yeah.
really, that's in a nutshell. That's what my client's looking to do. And I think it's going to be a less intensive use of the site than was previously there, and it's just restoring the residential use.
Looking at the map. So is there going to be access ways into lot parcel B?
Yeah, there's 60.36 feet of frontage that'll remain with that.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be 100. There's 176.45, I think, or maybe it's 179. Yeah, it's 179, I believe, is the frontage of the parcel. That's 67 middle, and then there'll be 60 feet that's left over for the parcel B part. So it'll have its own egress, and it won't affect the other lot. And there's an active farm field to the right to the rear of this lot.
Okay. Does any of the agents have any questions?
I don't think so. Not right yet.
Yeah.
The farmland trust, that's a permanent thing?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. That's a conservation easement. So my client would be donating the development rights, but retaining the right to farm and utilize the property for agriculture.
Excellent.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Good use of the land.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, I have no more questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions either.
I don't.
Okay, that's great. So, unfortunately, we have to wait until August 5th to make a motion on this.
Understood. Would the commission require my client and my attendance at that, or just my attendance, or, I mean, are you going to have further questions at that point? I guess what I'm asking.
There could
Would
be
we
based
close
on
it
who.
tonight? Would we close it tonight, Donna, even though we couldn't vote on it? That way, no new information
Well, it's not
could
a
be
hearing.
brought in?
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
it's not a public hearing?
No, this is not a public hearing. This is just a regular meeting, a regular application.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about that.
okay.
I would say somebody should be on just in case there's other commissioners on that do have questions who aren't here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be happy to attend on behalf of the client. I'm just trying to save him the trip if we can.
That's
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, that'd be fine. And it shouldn't take long, so, because we've already discussed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be good.
Well, thanks for hearing us. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Take
Have a
care.
good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will save your paperwork because we'll be talking about that. We'll make our motions at the next, on August 5th.
Okay.
Well, they're on the computer, so it's pretty easy.
Well, any notes that you kept, any notes you wrote down. Next on our agenda is IW 612, 19 Carmela Terrace, application for a permit to construct a 14 by 24 shed within the escarpment and wetland soil areas as delineated by the town of Enfield official wetland map on the property known as 19 Carmela Terrace. Jody Foisey, sorry if I mispronounced that, owner, map 63, lot 176, zone R33. This is in the same situation as our last application. We will have to hold a special meeting on August 5th to make motions on this. So we can discuss it tonight and then we'll make a motion on August 5th. So is the applications in attendance?
Yep, I'm right here.
Hi.
Everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can.
So I don't really have any.
Could you state your name and address for the record? It's probably 19 Carmela.
Yeah, it's Jody Foisey, 19 Carmela Terrace in Enfield. And you actually stated it exactly what it is, 14 by 24 foot shed by the barnyard. The common shed company. Going to place a shed on our land, right on crushed gravel. Cement or anything like that.
Okay.
Not exactly sure what other information. I did provide the map. I don't know if you want me to share it or not, but
I helped Jody with this.
helped a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And so after referencing the site plan provided by the applicant, I did talk about this in my staff report. The elevation in the area of the proposed shed is a very gradual slope. And according to the USDS soil survey, it's eudorfence urban land complex soil, which is moderately well drained to excessively well drained. So even though it is in our delineation of an escarpment and wetland area, that location of the proposed shed is moderately well drained to excessively well drained,
Yeah.
very slow slopes. I spoke
Take it right now. I would assume right now it's part of a yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's grass and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, it's already
Yeah.
level. We don't have to do anything to it. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
So they're literally gonna come and place it, and hopefully nice.
Yeah.
So what is it, about 50 feet away from the stream, according to the map, approximately?
Yeah, I don't know the exact, it's quite far. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in the way, so to get an exact measurement would be a little difficult. Let me just quickly check. How many feet away would you say? I think I wrote 25 feet, but honestly, I think we were.
Yeah, I think it's based on the map. It looked like 18 feet from the pool, and it looks like almost 2.5 times that length to the stream. So are you going to be keeping pool chemicals in the shed?
No, probably not. No,
Because
more of a, just a shed for like
Yard.
yeah,
Right.
yard stuff, and the pool stuff goes down in a cool, dry area during the winter, if we have any left, to be honest with you.
okay.
It's been a rough year, to be honest, with the pool. I feel like we're putting more in the pool than we'll ever have. So
Yeah. Been there. It's why we took ours down.
yeah.
So that's my only concern, just anything put in there because it does slope down towards the stream, that
Right.
any chemicals in there, fuel, anything like that could potentially get into that stream. So that's my only concern.
Yeah, no, we have a garage anyways that's on the other side of the property that's attached to the house that we keep, the lawnmower and stuff like that. This is more of like a wood shop, to be honest with you, what we'll be doing in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I have no other questions.
No.
Okay.
Kevin, you asked my question, so I'm happy to hear that no chemicals or gas will be in there.
Yeah. Bob, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. So, again, I apologize. We can't act on this until August 5th. Based on our regulations. So, hopefully you could be on August 5th for a quick call.
Yeah, I can. Is there anything else, just so I can make sure I have all my ducks in a row? Is there anything else Fate I need to show or?
I wouldn't think so.
Nope.
I think we're good.
Nope.
Okay, perfect. August 5th it is.
Okay. Thank
Great.
you very much for your time tonight.
And thanks for being patient.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, all this technology stuff is kind of tough doing the meetings. Next on our agenda is enforcement reports, which I see we have none, I'm guessing.
So far we have none. After we spoke to Stanton near 230 North Maple, I spoke with him. I helped him work through the application, but he has yet to submit it. And Rick went out at some point last week just to be sure that nothing has happened since then, and he does not believe that's the case. So we're keeping our eye out on that property.
Good.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
And then for the report to Development Services Planning staff, for 50 Hazard Ave, which is also known as 10, which is the Burlington store, which we saw as a DPN. They submitted the materials today. We had most of them already. And so we're gonna send out our notice of decision tomorrow. And in that, there'll be the condition that they must wait 15 days before they commence work. They probably won't before then, but by our bylaws, they have to wait 15 days for agent approvals before doing anything on the property. So that will start tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any new applications to be received. No agent approvals. Next on the agenda is to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.